The month of April was my husband and my anniversary month. We have been married for 4 years now. Hi, welcome to Tarot and Oracle for the Soul. I'm Sarah. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I do monthly overviews, tarot VRs, tarot and Oracle flip-throughs, walkthroughs, and book reviews. I love books. And so this video is a month up of the this is a wrap up of the month of April. So I'm going to be going through our whole month. And so at the beginning of the month, right at the start, we attempted another pagan meetup at Alien Enchantments in downtown. And again, nobody showed up, but you know, I got to hang out and talk with the owner, Mary, who is awesome. And my husband ended up selling a bunch of his Lenormand decks and stickers to her to sell in her shop in downtown. So you don't have to go through me. If you live in Roswell, you can go to the shop. The Lenormand deck is $29.95, I think. So rounded up 30 bucks with tax. And she's selling his stickers for $1.50. Also in Artesia at Sensational Massage, you can buy the originals. The Lenormand deck was all hand painted in oil paints by my husband, Nikolai. And you can buy the originals with Venmo there. The oil paintings are 11 by 14 and they are $75. Congratulations to my husband. I'm so happy that he was able to sell his remaining decks and some stickers. He still has a couple decks with him and stickers. So if you do want anything, just, you know, message me. My husband takes Cash App and Venmo. And if you go through him, you get the deck for $25. Nikolai has about 20 decks left that he has available to sell. We also got snow in April. And I posted a short, and I'm not sure if I posted it on Sarah's Prismatic Musings or this channel, but it also has Prince's song over it, Sometimes It Snows in April. Now, I would expect that in Minnesota and Minneapolis it's snowing, or in the Northeast, but in Roswell I was shocked. That was the second snow that we got of the season, and of course it doesn't last long and we don't get much, but still, it's just crazy. So I woke up this morning and I didn't hear the rain like I did yesterday morning, and I was like, oh sweet, it's gonna be a nice day. And then I opened the blinds and I saw that it's snowing. It's April 4th. It's not April Fool's Day. This is an April Fool's Day prank, right? Right, weather? Right? At least it's melting when it hits the ground and it becomes rain, but this is crazy. Snow. Sometimes it snows in April. Prince, you are so right. But you would expect that in Minneapolis. You'd expect that in the Northeast, in the North. Not in Roswell. Oh my goodness. This weekend, April 5th, it's snowing. And then next Saturday, it's going to be 91 degrees. Weather in Roswell, New Mexico is crazy. And let's, you know, just talk about how crazy the wind is here. Pumpkin, what do you think of the snow? Huh? Huh? What is it? Do you want to go out there and catch some snow? Hi, cutie. Listen to that wind. know, the snow is sticking to the ground. It's gonna snow until like 6 o'clock tonight. April 5th, 2025. We also went to Blackhawk and we saw Luna World Cast, and we tried something different. We tried the shrimp quesadilla, and I think I'm gonna stick with my Irish nachos because those are hands down my favorite. And all the ciders that they make are really good. It doesn't matter which flavor they have for the month, but their cider is excellent. Nikolai made us more focaccia bread, gluten-free focaccia bread, and it was delicious. And I made gluten-free brownies and blueberry coconut milk ice cream. The blueberry and the chocolate went so good together. It was delicious. We went up to Santa Fe to the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum and we lucked out. It was family day. It was a Sunday, so we got to go into the museum for free. The museum was a lot smaller than I expected. It had drawings and paintings throughout her career and from art school, and it had like her clothes and the smock she wore. I was surprised that they didn't have her big famous like flower paintings. I don't think I even saw one. They had a lot of more of her like abstract paintings and landscapes because she did landscapes from New Mexico. So maybe that's why they had the landscapes since it was the landscapes of New Mexico that they had. So it was nice to get to go for free. It was packed. And then we walked down the street a little bit and we found this gorgeous cafe. I think it was called like Delicious Cafe or something like that. And it had pink flowers coming down from the roof and from the ceiling, and everything was pink. Total Instagram worthy restaurant. Nikolai got pink tacos and I got a traditional Mexican coffee, and it was so good. Oh, it was like made with brown sugar and cinnamon, I think. The restaurant was called Fusion Delicious Cafe. I got chicken and waffles because I am a sucker for chicken and waffles, and it came with edible flowers. So my waffles were not pink, but it came with an edible flower, and my drink came with an edible flower. Nikolai's meal didn't have an edible flower, but he had the pink tacos. And the food was delicious. The drinks were great. Everybody around us, what they ordered looked so good. Love this place. It was 10 out of 10. And then I uploaded a video, and I'll put it here, of our trip to Daiso and Joann Fabrics, and we got a few things. I have the liquid eyeliner on, so I did an oopsie. I thought I bought black and I actually bought teal, but you know what? I think it still looks okay. And I haven't tried the white eyeliner yet, but I think I'm becoming a convert to liquid liner. It's actually easier to put on and it doesn't tug on my eyelid and it's less irritating. So who knows? Maybe liquid eyeliner is my new BFF and I just had to get out of my old lady ways. And so my sister-in-law said that this carbonated drink, mango flavor, was really good. I try to check sugar content. I try to keep everything under 20 grams of sugar, and I know that 20 grams is still a lot. We didn't check this, we just were like, okay, my sister-in-law said, try it, we have to get it. This is actually 27 grams of added sugar. It was so sweet. I had to cut it with sparkling water. It was okay, just whoo, so sweet. We don't drink juice or anything unless we juice it ourselves. And I try to stay away from soda, and I just drink carbonated water. And if I want like a flavor, I'll add a sugar-free syrup to it. And we got this one, this lychee. I love lychee. It's my favorite like Asian fruit. And this one only had 13 grams of sugar. This one, I highly recommend. I love it. I'm so excited that Santa Fe has a Daiso. I'm excited to see what they have, and that we don't have to go to Austin. I'm so excited. So like I said, we celebrated our 4-year anniversary, and my husband, he listens. He's so sweet. He bought me this crochet beautiful bouquet of flowers because he remembered that I wanted crochet flowers. So he bought me a bouquet, and I love it. They're so pretty that he got me. He knows I like colors, lots of colors, all the colors of the rainbow. So he got me the colorful one. And I love this so much. I just have to keep it away from my cat because he has already chewed up a little buddy of mine, a crochet buddy that I had. And he, for some reason, likes crocheted things. So I had to like keep it away from him. And my husband also purchased this Roadhouse Oracle for me. This was also off Etsy. And it's a 60s and 70s themed deck. Music and the desert. I showed these cards, sorry, in my 60s and 70s decks. So if you want to see some more cards, I'll link that video above as well. And then he also purchased Tarot of Hearts. And I did do a full walkthrough of this one. I absolutely love this book. Like, look at how chunky this book is. And I did a full walkthrough. I'll link that above too. This is 287 pages. And these cards are linen. And I just love how colorful and vibrant this deck is. It's a deck for the arts. So all of the arts. Writing, painting, theater, film, comedy, magicians, all types of performers, everything. The book is amazing. It gives open heart, which is upright, and closed heart, which is reversed. It gives a little quote from a famous person, and it talks about, you know, the image, but in a way, in a divinatory way. So I really, really, really love this deck. It's just so thoughtful, and it's right on. And if you watched my deck of the month for April, you will know that it tied April with the Bee Tarot, because the Bee Tarot is also another beautiful, thoughtful, just wonderful deck. And I love this yellow gilding on the cards. For our new 4-year anniversary, we went out to Sarah's Mediterranean restaurant here in Roswell for lamb Actually, I think this time we got shrimp. We tried the shrimp. I'm on a shrimp kick, if you haven't noticed. I keep talking about shrimp. I am a sucker for shrimp. I love shrimp. But the lamb at Sarah's is phenomenal. I have tried lamb at other restaurants, at other Mediterranean and Greek restaurants, and it's just okay, but wow. We've tried like 2 or 3 different lamb dishes from there, and they're all phenomenal, delicious, so good. Hands down, the lamb is my favorite at Sarah's. I went to an antisocial book club through Indivisible, and I met the leader of Indivisible and got to talk to her, and another awesome woman from Roswell who I'm so sad is moving to Minnesota. I asked her if she could pack me. I want to move to Minnesota. Uh, it just seems like more like my vibe. Even though I'd miss the desert, I would miss the desert so much, but just the culture in Minnesota is just like so awesome. So I spent the whole time of the antisocial book club talking to them. So I didn't really get much reading done. But it was nice. It was nice to be around people, and the leader, she brought her book. I brought a book. The other woman brought some crocheting to do. There were puzzles on the table, so if you wanted to do puzzles, so it was whatever you wanted to do. If you wanted to read, you could. If you wanted to do it like a craft, you could. I had every intention of reading, and then ended up talking. But I am starved for social connection, so I took advantage. Then we went to Black Hawk again for Julia Cosby. And we, of course, got Irish nachos. I filmed and uploaded, let's see, 13 videos to Tarot and Oracle for the Soul, 3 shorts, and 3 shorts. So for me, that's like really impressive. On Sarah's Prismatic Musings, I uploaded 1 long form video and 1 short, and that 1 short was the Sometimes It Snows in April. We watched live on YouTube Lady Gaga, Missy Elliott, and Green Day. Green Day's Coachella performances on YouTube. Lady Gaga and Green Day were so fun to watch. I'm not like the biggest fan of Lady Gaga's like newest music. I loved her when she first came out and was more like dancey and dance music. Missy Elliott is classic. Like, it was just fun to watch her and, you know, hear the music again. And then Green Day, I mean, they rock, right? So that was fun. We continued, you know, walking at the bird sanctuary. There was this really cool, there's a cool new thrift shop in town called Cosmic Treasures, and we purchased a few things. Oh, I meant to wear the jacket that I bought from them. It's this cool 80s blazer, and it's got the shoulder pads. I'm gonna leave them in, I don't care. We got that. I got that, and this totally 80s ceramic lamp. But I have to take down our Christmas tree. It's still up. Our Christmas tree is still up because I have a disco ball instead of a star or an angel. I bought a disco ball, and I have disco balls and peace signs all over the tree. So, you know, it's not really a Christmas tree. It's more of like it's got aliens and peace signs and fun things on it, and like disco balls and shiny things. So I've got disco balls hanging in my bedroom and in the living room. So we have multiple disco balls. And so we've been using the disco ball as our light. in the living room at night. Um, so I need to take the Christmas tree down, and then I want to paint the lampshade um, with cactuses because the theme in our living room is Route 66 cactus desert theme. We have cactuses all over. The only thing that's like doesn't fit is I have a piece of artwork that I created in high school, and it's of New York City, and it doesn't fit. But since my other artwork that I love, that was beautiful, was stolen, I am going to not keep my artwork hidden away. So it's up in the living room, and yeah, it's a little jarring. It's a big piece, and it doesn't really go with the colors, or well, it does because uh we have all the colors going on here, but it's lots of grays and blacks, and it's more gray toned. I took photos. I had taken photography in high school, and so I have black and white photos on there, and then I have newspaper cutouts. So it's a lot of black and white, and then I added pops of red and orange and yellow. So that's why I say it sort of goes, because it does have pops of color, but the theme is very apocalyptic. It's dark. It's kind of a depressing theme. It's social commentary on the way that we live in the Western world, right? Because for me, art is political. It's always been political, and I wrote this poem with it. Maybe one day I'll show you guys, but um even though it's not like the prettiest piece I ever painted or did, I love it because I took the photos, and it was something I felt very passionate about. And I created this in, I would say, it was either 99, it was probably 99 or 2000, early 2000. But I'm going to say 99 was when the piece was created. Or could have even been 98, because I'm not sure if I created this as a senior. I'm thinking I didn't, because I'm thinking it was actually made junior year. So it was probably 98, 99. Because by 99, 2000 school year, I already knew where I was going to school. So I was a nerd, and I could have graduated early. So I basically, senior year was just a fun year for me. I didn't need to be in school, but hello, senior year. Who wants to miss senior year? So I wanted to graduate and walk with my classmates, and I wanted to have fun. So senior year was fun. Anyway, sorry, I got off track. We went to El Toro Bravo for breakfast, and it was really good. We've been to El Toro Bravo before. The salsa here does not play around. It was so spicy, and the last time we went, the food I ordered was so spicy. I had a hard time eating it. It was definitely not mild or medium. It was spicy. It got me, but the breakfast we had there was so good. It was delicious, and we like going to the bakery, El Bravo Toro Bakery. It's delicious. They have the best pastries. All right, so I read 6 books. I reached my goal, and I read 6 books. I read Night Crawling by Leila Motley. It was a 5 out of 5 star. Amazing. The author started writing the book as a 17-year-old, and it's based on what was happening around her community. I think it was San Francisco when she was 17, and it was this big corruption case with the police officers and prostitution, and I think it was San Francisco, or somewhere up in Northern California. And I have heard stories, I went to a congressional hearing in DC back in the early 2000s. I was a women's studies major, and for a class, one of my classes, we had to go sit in on a congressional hearing. And the one I sat in on was about human trafficking. And so I heard the testimonies of 5 or 6 different women, and then their experiences of working in DC and how the police were very brutal with them. A lot of those girls were sold by their mother or father or a family member or a boyfriend, um, but it was always somebody they knew. And then the police would re-victimize them. The police would harass them. There were organizations in DC, and I'm sure there still are, that would hand out condoms, and the police would come along and poke holes in them or just throw them out. Just really foul things. So that's kind of what this story is about, is this girl who has to take care of her. She's taking care of herself. Her brother, who doesn't, he's older, but he doesn't want to take care of her. He wants to be a rapper. So his head's in the clouds and he's just rapping and hanging out in a recording studio with his friends. Really, he's just hanging out all day. And so she ends up basically dropping out of school because she meets this girl on the street who tells her, you know, you're beautiful, you could do this. And so it kind of just happens. She doesn't even mean it to, actually, like the first time. And it's just such a heart-wrenching story, and it was difficult to read. It was difficult to get through. A very realistic telling of this girl's life. So amazing. I started out the month strong. Then I read The Making of Biblical Womanhood by Beth Allison Barr, and that was a 3.5 star. I think, so the author is a women's studies major, a history, she holds some sort of history degree, and she is married to someone who's really big in the evangelical church. The book was really well researched, and I guess it's good that this woman is trying to get the church to open their mind to the fact that Jesus's teaching and the early Bible really wasn't about making women be submissive to men. Really, the original Bible and the original meaning, and she goes back in the historical context of why the Bible entries were written in the way that they were, are not to say that women are to be subservient. Her argument is that paganism is the cause of subservience, and it's not from the Bible, it's not from Christianity, and it's not from evangelical standpoint. And that the Bible of the Christian Bible really tries to free women of subservient roles within this religion, and that it started really with Aristotle. And before, Aristotle believed that women were deformed men, and she blames this philosophy for the patriarchy and not the Bible. As a women's studies major myself, I know I don't have a master's degree. I think she has like a master's or a PhD, but I can't defend Christianity. If you find comfort and solace in it, that's great. But I definitely could not stand with evangelical Christianity. I think that it's very harmful. I don't have that background. I don't have that knowledge, but I've heard secondhand accounts, and just we're seeing it right now. So I had to read the book. You know, she talks about like that, you know, she obviously comes from a place of privilege. She has a college degree. Her husband is a head person. He was like a preacher or something. You know, she comes from a place of power, and she speaks about that. I think it's great that she's educated, but there was still so many red flags that still popped up, like you know, I just was like, I can't rectify that. So, if you want to try to understand kind of what's going on with the evangelical church, and this woman is really just trying to, I think, save it so that she feels more comfortable. I mean, her and her husband were kicked out of a church because she wanted to teach, and women aren't allowed to teach boys over the age of 13, I think she said. And she finds that really difficult because she's a professor, and she teaches history, which includes biblical history, at the college level. So she's really educated, and I felt like some of her points were interesting. However, I just I'm not the demographic, right? I'm not the demographic for the book. I'm not an evangelical woman. So maybe if you're evangelical and you're trying to find some saving grace to stay within the religion, read the book. Or if you're just curious about their beliefs, read the book. And I did find it interesting, which I've read so much about Salem and the Salem, witch trials, and the burning times. And I never put two and two together that the burning times were a direct result of the Christian Reformation of Protestant religions. The Catholics did not believe in witches or witchcraft, and they definitely didn't believe in burning people. The Catholic Church actually, through all of this, was like, what? Like, so, wow, I wish I had known that, and I wish I'd put two and two together. So, thank you to Beth Allison Barr for bringing that to my attention, because for me growing up Catholic and Protestant and feeling like, oh, the Catholics are evil, like they are the evilest. They had the Crusades, and they wiped out religions and then took on those gods and goddesses as their saints, and they took on those holidays as their holidays. And so I had such a disdain for the Catholic Church, and all this time not putting two and two together, that a lot of witches and women and children, some men, lost their lives because of the Protestant Reformation. So, but I've never felt really drawn to the Protestant religion either. I mean, yeah, I had like a visceral, like, knee-jerk, like, I hate Catholicism as a teenager and as a child. But Protestant, the congregational church, I was just like, and then plus the church that I grew up in was pretty liberal, like very liberal. So compared to evangelical. So I never really like put it together that, oh yeah, the Protestants are the reason. It was really their beliefs, and really it was because they were trying to exert their power and their control since they were new. What better way to do that, right? It's what the Catholics did during the Crusades, which is strike fear in women and children to gain control. So they're just as bad. They're all bad. I can't stomach it. I then read Black Cats and Four-Leaf Clovers by Harry Oliver, and that book was all about superstitions and all the different superstitions for the stage, for theater, for your home, for relationships, for pregnancy, like you name it, it was in the book. It was just like a little like paragraph about each superstition, like where it came from, how it started, and it was okay. It became a little dry and a little redundant. I will say by the end I was like, is this going to end? So 3 stars for research. It was good information if you're into superstitions and the history of superstitions. I then read The Coven by Harper L. Woods. Now I read it because I saw the book at Target, and I was like, oh, it's like, look at the edges, it's beautiful, it's this gorgeous cover. And it was really cool. The author's from Vermont, so I was like, yay, Vermont, like, cool, represent. I wanted to love the book, and I have to say, it was horrible. I read the book the way that the main character, female character, and main male character hate had relations. I don't want to. There was just so much hate in this book. There was no plot. It was supposed to be an academic setting, a college setting, academia, dark academia. There was no academia. There was no world building, which I don't want a lot of world building, but a little bit would be great. The characters were flat cardboard. I just did not care. I was confused. I thought the female main character, I thought she was like 15 years old and sleeping with her headmaster, who was like 1,000 or, you know, really old, and he's her headmaster. Like, it was gross. The book gave me the ick. It didn't matter if she was even 18, 21. He's still old. And her headmaster, it just, ugh. I hated the book. Like, I just was like, this is disgusting. And this author has 2 young children. Like, do you want your children dating their principal or their, director of a college, like, or even their professor even? Like, no, it's gross. It's disgusting. Ew, don't do that. No, no, no. I mean, the female main character, she was strong and feisty and definitely abused. So there's trigger warnings for like abuse. She was literally groomed by her father to seduce this man, and that also gave me the ick that her father groomed her and basically told her she had to do this. That was like her only role. And yeah, it's just disgusting, like, the abuse that this girl grew up with. So trigger warnings, check the trigger warnings if you're going to read the book, but I don't recommend it. It's a gross book. And then I read Dare I Say It by Naomi Watts. This is a 2.5-star book. I also had problems with this book. It's supposed to be Naomi Watts' platform and book. She's bringing awareness to menopause and perimenopause early, especially early perimenopause and menopause, because she went through menopause early. But it's really written for upper class, rich white women, or, if you're rich in general, because her thing is, find a doctor who will listen to you. Well, when you don't have health insurance, that's impossible. And even if you do have health insurance, that's also impossible. And there's not a lot of doctors to go to. I mean, we normal people can't just jet set across the world to find a doctor who will take our perimenopause or menopause symptoms seriously. It's not gonna happen. I asked a doctor here last year when I did have health insurance about hormone replacement therapy, and very patronizingly, the male doctor told me that hormone replacement therapy is horrible and causes breast cancer, which is a lie. So she goes over that. I would say this was the only good part of the book, was that she discusses that study that he was mimicking to me, which study is quoted wrong. It does increase the chance of breast cancer slightly. So it should be addressed on a case-by-case basis. If you have a history of breast cancer, then you may not want to do hormone replacement therapy with, if you have a history within your family. But if you don't, hormone replacement therapy was used from the 40s through like the 90s until this stupid study was done and then misquoted. But the benefits of hormone replacement therapy and starting it early are excellent. It helps with osteoporosis, which my mom and sister both have. So, and my grandmother had. My grandmother was like 90, 91, living alone, and she fell and broke her wrist, and because her bones were so bad, it never healed. So she had to wear a brace on her arm. So she was in constant pain for the last year of her life and never healed. So it's like, yay, because the doctors don't want to give me hormone replacement therapy. I get to deal with broken bones. So I really wish these doctors for the last 20 years would be educated and read books like this that actually explain to them that the study was misquoted. Anyway, it's sad that in America, especially, but probably everywhere as a woman, you have to do more research and know more than the doctors do. These doctors are not up to date, not well informed. They should have to keep taking continuing education classes. They should have to take classes on women's health and issues. Women are just dismissed, and being a woman and dealing with the medical industry is horrible. So I'm done with that. And since I don't have health insurance, I don't want to pay in to that poppycock. It's all a bunch of BS. They don't care about your health anyway. So I have decided to do Chinese natural medicine again. I'm not going to do the acupuncture because that was so intense for me. I had extreme releases and it was just too much for me. But I'm going to do the nasty tea. The tea is disgusting, but it helped me lose weight and keep the weight off. And now that it's been a year and a half that I've been off it and I gained all my weight back, plus my insomnia is unbearable, and I'm like, I just need some sleep. I just need some relief and to be able to lose weight and keep it off. Because yeah, I've lost 14 pounds, which is yay, great for 4 months, but I want to lose more. I have a long way to go, and I know that I do, and I am not comfortable like this. Unfortunately, because of my Hashimoto's, my thyroid will work 1 minute and I'll lose a bunch of weight and keep it off, and then it will stop working, and then I gain 50, 60, 70 pounds, and then I can't get it off, and then it will start working again. And then, it's just, it's very frustrating to have a thyroid that looks like it's working in labs, but then we'll just stop. All right. And then the final book I read was Who's That Girl? A Memoir by Eve. And I gave that 3.5 stars. It was fun. I listened to the audiobook and she read the book. And, it was okay. If you like Eve's music, it's a solid memoir. Is it the best memoir I read or listened to? No. Leslie Jones. I would recommend Leslie Jones. If you're looking for a celebrity memoir and you want to be entertained, listen to her audiobook. Her audiobook has like hours and hours extra that her publicist or editor or whoever told her to take out of the book, that she took out of the book. But when she read the memoir, she added those stories back in, and you really feel and hear the emotion. Like when she gets emotional, like she starts crying in some parts, and it's so real and raw. And like Leslie Jones is amazing. We watched season 1 of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun on Disney Plus. So season 2 I know is up, but I think it's only in not dubbed. I think it's subtitled or only half. So we're waiting for the dubbed version to come out. We finished season 3 of Angel and season 6 of Buffy. It's great to finally watch it like together, because back when Buffy originally came out, I did not watch Angel. I really didn't like the Angel and Buffy storyline. I was not Team Angel. I was definitely Team Spike. Yeah, Angel and Buffy, they were too like sickly sweet, and I just was like, ugh, gross. Yeah. So I did not watch the show, but I'm enjoying Angel. It's a good show. And then for movies, we watched Kiki's Delivery Service on DVD. I love Kiki's Delivery Service. I like the DVD, the movie, better than the book. I like the few changes that they made and the voice actors in it. I thought it was really good. We also watched on Hulu, Chosen Family, written and directed by Heather Graham. It was okay. It was a little slow, and it was a little frustrating because Heather's character is a total people pleaser with no boundaries and has definitely a very toxic family. And all I was screaming the whole time was, move, leave your family alone. They can take care of themselves. You don't have to take care of them. And you find out at the end, towards the end of the movie, why she feels obligated to take care of her family, especially her little sister. But it's horrible, the guilt trips and the toxicity, and it's a very real look at toxic families and people pleasers and the manipulation that goes on. We also watched Scary Girl on Hulu, and that was an animated movie from, I want to say it's from Australia. It was very slow. I actually fell asleep during the first part, and we had to watch it, stop and watch it the second night. And then the last two movies we watched, you'll see the theme. We watched Lee on Hulu, about war photographer Lee Miller in World War II. And that movie was so good. Lee Miller, phenomenal. She was a phenomenal woman. And you can definitely see why she had PTSD. I like the twist at the end. She was definitely a ballsy woman. You couldn't tell her what to do. I like women like that. And I'm glad her story got told and made into a movie. And I think everybody should watch that movie because you can see that it wasn't just the one group that we think was targeted. It was actually artists, writers, intellectuals. It was all sorts of people. Her friends got caught up in it and put in jail, and some unalived. It was a very sad movie to watch, but important. So I highly recommend watching that movie. And then we watched, it's also along the same lines, A Real Pain on Hulu, about a covert narcissist and his very anxious cousin. Now, this movie received all these accolades and all these awards. I thought it was an okay travel movie and a good look at covert narcissism and that anxiety that it produces in people, and especially people who are close to that person. It's a very stressful movie to watch. And I was yelling at the characters a lot through that movie too. But it was also a look at Poland during World War II. So you get to explore Poland. It was these two cousins whose grandmother was Polish and fled and survived World War II Poland occupation. And she wanted them to go to Poland and see her house and experience what she experienced. The movie was good, a little difficult to watch in times, frustrating, very frustrating, but a solid movie. And again, we should all be watching these movies right now. So important. We obviously, I have been of the mindset that, like, let's move on from these narratives. We know what happened. We know why it happened. We see the outcome. We'll never let it happen again. And unfortunately, we're letting it happen again. And that's horrible. I guess we still have to have those movies because willful ignorance, there's no excuse in this day and age to not know history. You don't have to read it in books. You can watch these movies, any one of these movies. It's just really sad. This wasn't really technically for April, but I'm gonna include it. We went to the Asian market here in Roswell. We have a cute little Asian market and restaurant on the outskirts of town, and I picked up this cheese latte coffee drink. I like trying weird things, different things, things that you can't get anywhere else. And this was interesting. It just tasted like very creamy coffee. I don't know if I'd get it again. Maybe it wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't the worst. And of course, I had to get my Thai tea and my rice cakes. I really want the black sugar rice cakes that we got in Texas. Hopefully, we go again soon so I can pick them up. But I just got some regular rice cake cookies as well. But that was our month of April. And you can see, I wish I had the pictures and the photographs still of our hand fasting ceremony. It was beautiful. We did it outside in beautiful Prescott, Arizona. It was so gorgeous. Such a nice day too. It was a little windy, but not bad. And at least when it's windy there, it's not like dusty like it is here. But overall, we had a really good month. Let me know in the comments down below how your April was. What did you do that was fun or different? What did you get to experience? Any new foods, any new restaurants, any new TV shows? I would love to hear all about it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Have fun and keep on shuffling. Bye, guys.